Today we are going to see one more scenario, and scenario is a title said deploy PHP application on Kubernetes with Nginx and PHP FPM. So let's see scenario in detail. Application development team is planning to deploy one of the PHP based application on Kubernetes cluster. As per the recent discussion with the DevOps team, they have decided to use the Nginx and PHP FPM. Additionally, also they share some custom configuration requirement. Below you can find more detail. Please complete this task as per the requirement mentioned below. First one is create a service to expose the app. The service type must be the node port and node port should be 30012. Create a config map, name as nginx config and config nginx.config as event to add some custom setting in the nginx.config. Change the default port 80 to 8096 in nginx.config. Change the default document route this to this in the nginx.config. Update the directory index to index.html, index.html, index.php in nginx.config. So these all the things we need to do the changes in the config map when we are going to create a pod, name the Nginx PHP FPM. Create a share volume, name the share files that will be used by both the container Nginx and PHP FPM. Also, it should be an empty dir volume. Map the config map we declare above as the volume for the Nginx container. Name the volume as the Nginx config volume. Mount path should be tc nginx nginx.conf and sub path should be the nginx.conf. Nginx container should be named as the Nginx container and it should be used the Nginx colon latest image. PHP FPM container should be named as the PHP FPM container and it should be used the PHP 8.2 FPM Alpine image. The share volume share file should be mounted as the www.html location in both container. Copy opt index.php from the jump host to the Nginx document root inside the Nginx container. Once done, you can access the app using the app bottom on the top. It means that by the help of node port and node IP. You can use any label as per your choice. So before going to the YAML file, let's see what we are going to achieve at the end of the this video. Learn how to deploy the PHP-based web application on the Kubernetes cluster using the Nginx and PHP FPM. This hands-on tutorial walks through the creating the Nginx map for the custom Nginx configuration, setting up the multi-container port with the share volume, and exposing your application using the node port service. Perfect for DevOps engineer, application developer, and Kubernetes authorities looking for understand the real world deployment pattern. What we shall learn, create and use a config map for the custom Nginx configuration, deploy multi-container pod with the share volume, use the mtdir volume for the uh, container communication, expose application using the node port service, copy file into the running container using the kubectl access deploy PHP app via the browsers. So now let's see the YAML file. So first YAML file we have the config map, API version is v1, kind is config metadata, name of the config engine is config, data whatever we have as requirement above, nginx.conf event http server listen on etna, root is this one and index this location we have this location php include the this fastech pass, this fastech index, this fastech pattern, this one. Now let's see the YAML file for the pod. API version of YAML file is v1. Kind is pod. Metadata name of the pod is the Nginx PHP FPM. Label we have the PHP Nginx app. Specs volume name is the shared files and type is mtdir, and name of the container is Nginx config volume first volume, and the config map we have the nginx config item, we have the key nginx.conf, and path is this one. So we have the two volume, one is the mtdir and second one is the our config map. Now let's go to the container. First container we have the nginx container. Image is this one. Volume mount we have name as the share file, and mount path is this one. And second volume we have the this name nginx config volume. Mount path is this config dot nginx.conf. Sub path is nginx.conf. Now second container PHP PM container, image is this one, and volume mount is here, volume is same volume, and mount path is the var limit. Now let's go to the service. API version of the service is v1. Kind is service. Metadata name of service this one. Type is node port type, and selector whatever the label we have defined in pod. Then service port is 8096. Target port means container port is 8096, and node port we have the 30012. Then we are going to apply this one. Then config map created, port created, service created. Same thing we can verify by kubectl get all, kubectl get cm. Then we are going to copy index.php in share volume. After the pod running, execute the following command from the jump host means localhost kubectl cp, where the file is there, and then where you need to copy, and then pod name and container name. Once this done, we can access the app in the browser by the help of node IP and node port. So let's copy the YAML file and let's run into our production cluster. So I have already copied into the notepad. Let's copy it and let's go to our production cluster. So this is our production cluster. Let's create one file. Let's say pod.yml. Now let's paste it. Now save it except colon wq. Now let's apply it kubectl apply -f pod.yml. So we can see the config map created, pod created, service created. Let double verify kubectl get. First let's check cm config map. So you can see the nginx config is created. Now let's see the services and pod. Let's wait. So kubectl get all. So we can see the pod, both the container in running state and our service also created with node port, and node port type is this, node port is this one. Now let's go to the next step. Once the YAML file is created, now we need to copy the file from the local. So let's copy it by the help of kubectl cp, and the file is in optp index.php in our local, and we are going to copy in this nginx php varlib this one -c container this. So copied. Now by the help of node port, is this port, and the node IP, we are going to access the applications. So let's refresh it. So it's work. It means our application is running fine. So in this way we can deploy the PHP application on Kubernetes with the Nginx and PHP FPM. Thank you. Happy